Warriors NRL Fanatics, welcome back to the YouTube channel. But before getting into my NRL Finals Week 1 tips, if you haven't already done so, I highly recommend it. You make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button down below because it really does show your support for the content and videos that I do. And it's absolutely free and it doesn't cost anything at all. And yeah, it's much appreciated as well. And look, my goal is to get to 2k subscribers by the start of next season. So at the moment, the channel is getting close to the 1,300 subscriber mark. So yeah, let's get to that 1,300 subscriber mark in the next couple of weeks. So you won't be disappointed with the content and videos that I do. And look, despite the Warriors season being over, there is still going to be me uploading some content and videos in the next couple of weeks. One, we've got the Warriors season review that I will have on the channel. And also with the Rugby League World Cup coming up in October, I will be doing a few videos and content on the Rugby League World Cup. And we'll probably do some live watch-alongs and do some reviews of Kiwis games and of other teams as well. So make sure you do keep an eye out for all that content on the channel. And yeah, and also don't forget to like the video as well. And click the bell so you don't miss a notification when I go live on the channel next. But let's get into the NRL Finals Week 1 tips. Now, the first game is on the Friday, the 9th of September. It sees the Penrith Panthers taking on the Parramatta Eels there at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith. The Penrith Panthers finished the season as the minor premiers for this year. And the Parramatta Eels coming off that win last week to finish in 4th spot on the ladder after beating the Melbourne Storm down there at CommBank Stadium. Now, this game does kick off at 7:50 PM Australia time, so that'll be at 9:50 PM New Zealand time, and it's on Fox League and Channel 9 here in Australia, and for New Zealand viewers, it's on Sky Sports Live there in New Zealand. So, yeah, looking to the betting prices now, so this is what the betting prices are currently. It could all change, obviously, but the Panthers are paying $1.37. The Parramatta Eels are paying $3.10. Now, I am doing this video before the team lists come out, but look, I am probably really not expecting a lot of shocks in terms of team lists anyway. So, look, the Panthers will definitely welcome back all the players that they rested last week. They rested 13 players, so there'll be Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, James Fisher-Harris, and Dylan Edwards, and all those players will be back. And Parramatta, look, they didn't have any injuries from what I'm aware of last week, so they'll be full strength as well. But looking into the results now from the season, now Parramatta Eels, they did get a win or two over this Panthers side in the regular season this year. The first meeting was the 6th of May 2022. That was a win in Penrith, out of all places. 22 points to 20 over the Panthers. And the Parramatta Eels won their other game against them in Parramatta. It was a 34-10 result to the Eels as well. That game particularly was the one where Nathan Cleary got sent off. Then he got suspended for the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, look, Penrith, they'll be refreshed and ready to go in this matchup with all those players back. But Parramatta, they're a team that just can't write off coming into this final series. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't really convinced because, you know, they can be a little bit inconsistent, but, you know, they made the top 4, so it's a huge credit to them to make the top 4 at the end of the season and beating teams like Melbourne as well last week, which was a big result for them and a big confidence booster for them going into the final series as well. So, look, if they don't win this game, it's not the end of the world for the Parramatta Eels, you know, but it definitely does sort of make things a little bit harder. It means they'll have to keep winning majority of their games to make the grand final. But, look, Parramatta, for me, they're a team that can beat this Penrith side because they've done it before. And the Panthers and Penrith, look, they play similar style of brand of footy. And I think, for me, the Panthers, you know, they are the favourites, no doubt about it, and they deserve to be favourites going into this final series. But there's also a lot of pressure on the Panthers. You know, you look at the fact that a team finishes first, they're minor premiers, and everyone will say, no, they should be in the grand final, they should win it. But the Panthers, they can be beaten. And the Eels definitely have a chance. I really do give them a chance of causing a shock, upset win in week 1 of the finals. And look, for me, this is a very tough game to tip. It's a very difficult game. It's a game which could go either way. And look, Penrith are in Penrith, but look, take home ground advantage into the equation. Yes, home ground advantage usually does favour the side, but Parramatta have beaten Penrith and Penrith earlier this year. So, look, in saying it now, who am I going to tip in this game? I am going to go... No, I'll stick with the Panthers. I'll stick with the Penrith Panthers, but I will not be surprised if Parramatta go down there and run it very close. These two teams last year in the finals had a very close matchup. The Panthers only won by 1 point. It was an 8-6, I think it was an 8-6 scoreline. Actually, it was a 2 points. Yeah, 8-6. It was an 8-6 scoreline. So that was, it was 2 point. It was only a 2 point win for Penrith back in the finals last year. And that was a very tough, gritty game. And this could be really something similar. So I am going to go with the Panthers here to win by just 4 points. Now, in terms of an anytime try scorer, I am going to go with Dylan Edwards. I'm going to go with Isaac Tago, and I'm going to go with Stephen Crichton to score. As for the Parramatta Eels, I'm going to go with Marcus Sevo to score, and I've got him to score a double. 2 tries. I think he'll score 2 tries in this match. And I'm going to go with Will Palacini to score 1 try as well. And I'm going to go with a roughie throw-in, Mitchell Moses to score a try in this game. Mitchell Moses to score 1 try. And I'll go Panthers to win this game by just 4 points. Boy, it's going to be an absolute cracking match. I cannot wait for it. Two teams from Western Sydney. And one team will get a win to go through to week 3. Get a week off. And come refreshed for that week. And the other team, if they lose, they will have to play in week 2 in the semi-finals. But, yeah, it's going to be a cracking match. I'm looking forward to it. But on to the Saturday games now. There's 2 games on Saturday, the 10th of September. And this first game is an elimination final. It is the Melbourne Storm taking on the Canberra Raiders. 5th versus 8th on the ladder. The Melbourne Storm here are paying $1.35 at Sportsbet currently. The Canberra Raiders are $3.25 outsiders. This game kicks off at 5:40 p.m. Australia time, so that'll be 7:40 p.m. New Zealand time, and it will be live on Sky Sports in New Zealand, and in Australia it'll be on Fox League and Channel 9. So, look, Melbourne Storm, it is a shock, to see the Melbourne Storm not finishing the top 4 this year. They're a team that always are in the top 4 every season, but to finish 5th was a huge surprise for me. But this year Melbourne have had a ton of injuries as well, so it's really affected their side. But I think Melbourne, they're at home here. They are no doubt deserving of being the favourites, but in saying that, you cannot write off this Canberra Raiders side at all. Now, Canberra Raiders, yes, I know they only beat the Tigers last week. The Tigers are an absolute dismal team this season. Don't get me wrong there. But if you look at Canberra's form over the last couple of weeks, I think they've really improved. Look, the start of the year, no one would have expected Canberra to be here right now in the finals. They were a team struggling at the start of the season, and they have found some good form at the back end of the year and the right time as well. But in saying it now, Canberra, they have beaten the Melbourne Storm this year. Also, they did beat the Melbourne Storm earlier in the season, and that was a scoreline of 20 points to 16 on the 17th of July 2022. So, look, Canberra will not be afraid of taking on this Melbourne side in Melbourne. But for me, look, I just don't see Melbourne losing 2 times in a row to this Canberra side, and in Melbourne as well. And look, Canberra can do it again, but I just don't think it's going to happen here. I think the Melbourne Storm will win this. And I reckon it'll be very close. I reckon it'll be a good contest as well. So I'll go Melbourne Storm here by 8 points. Now, in terms of anytime try scorers, I'm going to go for... I'll go for Harry Grant to score a try here for the Melbourne Storm. I'll go with Nick Meaney to score. And for the Raiders, I'm going to go for Jack Whiten, Josh Papali'i, and the Melbourne Storm will get the win here by 8 points. On to the second game on Saturday. Now, this sees the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Two of these teams who have been very impressive this year. Two teams maybe a lot of people did not expect to be this high up on the ladder at the start of the season. The Cowboys, a team which a lot of people tipped for the wooden spoon or the bottom four. I was probably one of them, so I do admit that I was wrong. And good on the Cowboys there for the season they've had. And Todd Payton's really turned it around for the Cowboys. The Sharks, Craig Fitzgibbon, first year, coming from the Sydney Roosters as an assistant coach, has really done a good job for the Sharks and turned them into a very massive threat for the premiership. And they finished in second spot on the ladder after their win last week, cementing it over the Newcastle Knights, which, look, it wasn't as convincing as I thought it would be, actually, because the first half, Newcastle were very competitive, and the Sharks' second half was the only reason why that scoreline blew out. So, yeah, and saying that now, the Sharks, look, they finished second, and they've got home ground advantage here at PointsBet Stadium. The game does kick off at 7:50pm Australia time, 9:50pm New Zealand time. It's on Sky Sports in New Zealand live there, and Fox League and Channel 9 here in Australia. So, look, the betting prices do have the Sharks $1.71, and the Cowboys are paying $2.15 here. So, look, another difficult game to tip, and majority of these finals games this week are very hard to call, actually. And look, for me, Sharks, no doubt about it, with the home ground advantage, will play a part there. Being in front of that hostile crowd for the Cowboys. The Cowboys will need to have a good start in this game. They really would, because I think their record in Sydney alone in New South Wales is not too great this year. But, this is difficult, isn't it? Look, you know what? I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. I'm going to go with an upset. I am going to go for an upset. And I am going to tip the Cowboys here to win this game. Look, I think, the winner of this game in particular is going to be feeling really good about themselves, get a week off, and get that home ground advantage in week 3, and they're only a win away from the grand final. So one of these teams could have a fairy tale finish to this season and potentially then go on to make the grand final and potentially win it. But look, for me, I think the Cowboys can do it. Now, I'm going to go Cowboys by... I'll go Cowboys by 4. Cowboys by 4 points. Now, in terms of anytime try scorer, I am going to go with Scott Drinkwater. I'll go with Val Holmes. And I'm going to go with Jason Tamalolo. Jason Tamalolo is my roughie to score try in this one. And for the Sharks, I'm going to go with Ronaldo Muritalo to score. And also, I'm going to go with Nicholas Hines crossover. So, Cowboys by 4 points in a very close, tight affair. Now, moving on to the last finals game of week 1. Sunday, the 11th of September. It sees the Sydney Roosters taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's at Allianz Stadium. For the second time, they meet again at Allianz. Last week, the Roosters got the win over the Rabbitohs, but in a game which really didn't mean anything at all, to be completely honest. Both of these teams now focuses on winning this particular match so they can go through to week 2 of the finals. So the loser of this game, their season is done for the year, and they will have to have Mad Monday celebrations early. So, look, the Roosters had a few injuries last week. You saw the likes of Joseph Manu come off with a calf strain there, so very disappointing there for the Roosters. A big blow for them. There was quite a few other injuries to note. I think it was Lindsay Collins and look, the Rabbitohs, you know, they had no Jason Demetriou last week at the coach. He was missing due to COVID. Damien Cook was also not playing as well. You had Cameron Murray come off early with a concussion. Now there is, I believe he will be back for this game. But if he is, I think it's a huge in for the Rabbitohs. If he isn't, I think it'll be a blow for them. But I believe he will be playing on Sunday. I think he will be named in the team. So, look, this is another difficult game to call. Now, I really want to tip the Rabbitohs here. I really do. I really would like to see them get a win and go through the week to the finals. I mean, look, do I tip the Roosters here or do I tip the Rabbits? Do I go with the favourites or do I go with an underdog? Look, for me, this is going to be a great game, no doubt about it. It's going to be close. It's going to be intense. It's going to be probably one of the games of the final series along with the other couple of games in there. But, you know what? There's a lot of people saying the Roosters can do it. There's a lot of people saying that the Roosters are a team that could be making the grand final. But I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs here. I know this might be a shock to a lot of people. And I know a lot of people in their tipping videos will be going the Roosters. But I think the Rabbitohs can do it. And I know I tipped them last week and they didn't get the result. But I just think that, look, the Roosters were great last week. Don't get me wrong. They were great. But I think the Rabbitohs, you know, with last week behind them, I think this could be it. I think this could be it, that they knock the arch rivals out of the final series. And look, I am going to go with the Rabbits win here. I'm going to go Rabbits by 1. 1 point. I reckon there'll be a field goal in this game. And the field goal will come from Latrell Mitchell. Latrell Mitchell, against his former side, will kick a field goal. And I know he had a quiet game last week. And the Roosters really, you know, kept them quiet. But I think Latrell is going to step up in a big finals match against an arch rival side. And I reckon he'll do it. He'll kick a field goal. South Sydney Rabbitohs will go through to week 2. And the Roosters will end their season off. So, Rabbitohs will get the win for me in this one. But guys, that wraps up my NRL Finals Week 1 tips. Let me know who you're tipping for this week's games down in the comments below. Very tough games to tip. I'm looking forward to the final series. It's one of the best times of the season. And it's the important time. It's the important time where teams step up. And they want to be there on grand final day come October. So, yeah, look, it's going to be great. But, yeah, let me know who you're tipping and why and your margins and your anytime try scorers in the comments down below. And, yeah, if you are new to the channel, if you're a new viewer and you haven't already done so, make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Warriors NRL Fanatics. Hit that subscribe button down below. Like the video as well. Click the thumbs up on the video. Share the video around to your friends, your family, all on your social media platforms of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Share it around, guys. And don't forget as well to like the video. Click the like button. Click the bell so you don't miss a notification when I go live on the channel next or when I upload a new video. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one.